But okay. Madison, do you have yours open? Madison. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and start. So, guys, we're looking at vocabulary sentences, and we need to make sure we understand that we pick the right meaning. It says the following sentences contain vocabulary words used in the reading passage. This was from a few weeks ago, but you don't actually need to look back at the reading passage. It says identify the sentence or sentences that use the italicized vocabulary word properly. So they just want to make sure we're using the word properly. We've changed the form of some vocabulary words to provide new context. For example, some adjectives and verbs have been used as nouns. So here's what you need to remember about them being in the reading passages. If you aren't sure what the word means, go back to the reading passage, find it in the reading passage, and see how they're using it there so that you can better understand the meaning. But if you do understand the meaning, you really don't have to take the time to go back and look, okay? That's only if you're not sure of what it means, all right? Just a little clue or hint when you're taking the test. So let's look at the first one. The word that is italicized is the word preeminently, okay? Anybody know what preeminently means? Or if something is preeminent, because they use preeminently and they use preeminent. Okay, well, let's see. So it says the wrestler flexed and grinned preeminently when his name was announced as he entered the ring. Or Susan's resume proves that she is preeminently qualified for the job. Lions are the preeminent carnivores in this part of the savannah. The children were not preeminent to check out young adult novels. Okay. And it can be more than one that is using it correctly. Okay. So preeminent means that you're like at the top of something, or you're, well, I started to use one of the words. I'll go ahead and use it. We typically hear it used with qualified, or they're an upcoming leader, or they have a lot of skill, okay? So Charlotte says C. Yes, that is one of them that is correct. C is one of the correct answers. Lions are the preeminent carnivores in this part of the savannah. You have one other use of it that is also correct. Can you guess which one? You've got A, B, or D to choose from. Nobody? Yes, Charlotte, B is correct. So both B and C are correct. You want Susan's resume proves that she is preeminently qualified, and lions are the preeminent carnivores. Okay, so that it means that she is highly qualified, and lions are the top of the food chain, basically. Okay, so we have B and C we need to mark for number one. Number two, the soldier's ignoble conduct earned him a Medal of Honor. When Jerry decided to return the wallet to his owner, his parents said it was very ignoble of him. The senator's ignoble actions prevented him from being reelected. Terry thought it was ignoble of her boyfriend to refuse to hold the door open for her. So the word that we're looking at is ignoble, and it's used that they didn't change any way that any, they didn't add an LE or anything to the end of it. So we need to understand what ignoble means. Well, think about the word noble. If someone is noble, it means they're honorable, they've done good things. But if they are ignoble, it usually means the opposite. Yes, not honorable. So if that's the case, which one or two sentences would be using the word ignoble correctly? Anybody? Which two are you? If we say that it means not honorable, so D is one of them. Yes, Terry thought it was ignoble of her boyfriend to refuse to hold the door open for her. There's one other also. C, yeah. The senator's ignoble actions, not honorable actions, prevented him from being reelected. So he wasn't honorable, he wasn't reelected. Okay. Number 3, slothful. Okay. Slothful usually means what, guys? Slow and sloppy. And slothful can also mean that you're slow and messy, and we think of it that way. So the slothful movements of the snail as it made its way across the lawn were boring to watch. My new computer runs so smooth and slothful that I gave it a great review. The cyclist set a slothful pace that allowed her to set a personal record. If Garrett does not improve his slothful work ethic, his project will never be finished on time. So, which one or two sentences are using this correctly? If slothful means slow, which one is it, or two? A and D, yes, A and D. They're both about slow movements, okay? If your computer is running smooth, you're not, or slowly, you're not going to give it a great review. And you're not going to say that a personal record was her slothful pace, her slow pace, okay? All right, let me move 4 up a little bit. We could do 4 and 5 together here. Okay, Robin had been traveling for so long that his idleness was exhausting him. So we have the word idleness here. Idleness typically means that you're not doing anything. If you are idle, you're not doing anything. So Robin had been traveling for so long that his idleness was exhausting him. The old fisherman found peace in the idleness of sitting motionless and fishing for hours on end, even when his chances of catching anything were negligible. The car sat in idleness for so long that the paint had faded and the metal had rusted. Your idleness impressed your group members so much that they gave you an excellent grade. That would be rather ironic. Okay, so we have 2 again. C is one of them, yes. The car sat in idleness, not doing anything for so long. What's the other one? And B, yes, the old fisherman found peace in the idleness of sitting motionless. Good. Okay, so number 5, since Katie's dog went missing, she has been posting flyers advertising a remunerative reward for anyone who finds her pet. So the word is remunerative, okay? And that usually means money, some kind of money, monetary award. Ever since John lost his job, he has been living off remunerative welfare. If you want to live in New York City, you need a remunerative job in order to afford rent. After the drought of the season, the farmers were left with a remunerative crop. What do we think? C, yes. C is one of them. There's a second one too. And A, yeah. C and A, because she's talking about a monetary reward, and you need remunerative can also mean really good money. Okay. All right, let's look at 6 and 7. Jake was so concerned with maintaining his viral image that he brought only brand named items. So we're looking at viral. Viral, V-I-R, not viral. Viral, this is viral, not viral. Viral is V-I-R-A-L. Viral is V-I-R-I-L-E, okay? Because society dictates that facial hair is a virile trait, women are encouraged to tweeze their eyebrows and wax above their lips. Lions seem impressive and virile, but it is the lioness who hunts for the pride. The portrait of the queen depicted her as regal, rich, and virile. Okay, so virile, in this case, virile, not viral, as I first pronounced it. Virile is referring to strength and manliness. Okay, so it's strength and manliness. So which are our two choices? If virile refers to strength and manliness, well, let's look at it this way. B and C? Yes, B and C, because, you know, his virile image that he bought only brand name, that doesn't really, I mean, that's a close one, but manliness isn't known for, you know, being, worrying about your clothing so much. But facial hair, and hunting, that kind of thing, that is what it's referring to. So B and C. Okay. 7. The principal's stern expression put the student's mind at ease when he was called into the office. So our word is stern. Stern typically means that, you know, it's very firm and frowning and you're in trouble. Connor ignored his mother's request to set the table until her voice took on a stern tone. The stern state of the boat suggested that it had not been damaged in the hurricane. The country's stern insistence on fair trials means that it takes its citizens' rights seriously. Okay, so what do we think? B and D, Madison says? Yes, you are correct, Madison. It is B and D. Let me tell you why. A, you know, the principal's stern expression would not put you at ease, so it's not that. And then C, we don't really describe a boat or an object as being stern, okay? That's not how it's used. But a stern is usually talking about someone's expression, the tone, well, except for that, that's not the right expression to fit with the rest of the sentence, but the tone of their voice, and being firm. Stern is usually means they're using a firm tone. So a firm insistence, a stern insistence. You could say the firm state of the boat, but stern doesn't really work. Firm might, but stern wouldn't. Okay? So the correct answers are B and D. Okay. Let's look at 8. The lifted weight of the rubble was a cumberer to the rescued victims of the cave-in. Girl Scouts volunteered to cumber the building of the playground. The athlete's old injury became a real cumberer to her success when arthritis began affecting the joint. George found himself a home health care nurse when his health began to fail because he didn't want to be a cumberer to his family. Now we have the word cumbersome that you might be familiar with. Cumbersome typically means that it's kind of awkward and bulky, okay? So if we think about that, what do you think this means? Which ones? Which two? If we think about it as being a bother, or let's see, did you say, okay, C and D? Wait, are you talking, Madison, are you talking about the first? Wait. Okay, Charlotte saying C. Yes, the athlete's old injury became a real cumberer to her success. Yes, when arthritis began affecting the joint. Yes, that is correct. What's the other one? If it's a burden, if we could replace burden, yes, then it would be D. He didn't want to be a cumberer or a burden to his family. Okay. 9, the patient's bedside table was lavished with flowers and get well cards. So we're looking at the word lavished. Yeah, it usually means something like there's a lot. Okay. Brian was pleased that the gas station employees had refueled his car and lavished it with a car wash. The homeowners lavished their house with chandeliers and famous paintings. And the path of the tornado behind lavished piles of debris and rubble. Okay, here's the other thing we need to remember. Lavished also means like kind of luxurious and taking care of something, and it's a verb usually. Okay, so which two? What do we think? Charlotte says A. Yes, that is one of them. That's correct. The patient's bedside table was lavished with flowers and get well cards. I mean, there was an abundance of them. So what else could it be? C. Yes. The homeowners lavished their house with chandeliers and famous paintings. Okay, good. So 9 is A and C. 10 and 11, let's look at them. It is often said that the best counsel comes from the elderly and the experienced. The counsels of my parents and high school advisor helped me narrow down my college choices. The counsels of science do not yet allow time travel or the resurrection of animals long since extinct. Carter blamed the counsels of violent television show for his destructive behavior. Of violent television shows. Okay. So we have different forms of counsel. Okay. Counsel, spelled like this, is usually referring to giving advice. Counsel, spelled C-O-U-N-C-I-E, or C-I-L, sorry, is usually referring to a group of people. Like they sit on the county council. Okay. So, which two do we think it is here? So counsel, spelled with E-L, S-E-L, usually refers to advice. Counsel, spelled C-O-U-N-C-I-L, is usually referring to a group of people. So what do we think? A, yes, that's one of them. We have another one too. Which of the other sentences sounds like they're giving advice? See, no, actually, that's more like a group of people. B, yeah, it's B. The counsels of my parents. They're using it slightly differently. They're using it more like a noun, but it is advice. The advice of my parents and high school advisor. Okay, that's how you could use it. All right, so it's A and B this time. All right, let's look at 11. The club's Republic met every first Thursday of the month in order to discuss the upcoming events. So we're looking at the word Republic. Due to the recent decree made by the Republic, all teenagers in the country are under curfew. After his father's passing, the prince was crowned king in a majestic ceremony held in the Republic. Or the last one, the Republic was divided by beliefs and civil war soon broke out. So, a republic usually refers to a country, something like that. So, a governing body, not the government themselves, but the group of people that are part of that, that are make up that government. So what do we think? If you could substitute country for republic, which sentences would be best? B and D? Yes, B and D. So you could say, due to the recent decree made by the country, all teenagers in the country are under curfew, or the country was divided by beliefs and civil war. Okay. Yeah, republic doesn't work at all in A. C is a little deceptive. The ceremony held in the Republic, I mean, that sort of works, but that's not the best answer. Your best answers are B and D. Okay, did I give you the other page with antonyms, or was this it? Oh, I did. Okay, so now we have antonyms and synonyms. Remember, antonyms mean the opposite, synonyms mean the same. So we're looking at those same words: ignoble, slothful, remunerative, virile, stern, and republic. So which of those lenient, weak, industrious, monarchy, unprofitable, or honorable would be the opposite of ignoble? Yes, honorable is the opposite of ignoble, so it's the antonym of it. So one would be F. Then we said slothful was slow. So which would be the opposite of slow? Lenient, weak, industrious, monarchy, or unprofitable? So we already used honorable. What would be the opposite of slothful up there? C, industrious. Yes. Yes, correct. So one is F, two is C. Let's look at remunerative. What do you think the opposite of remunerative is? Remember, it had to do with making money. Don't know? Madison or Zane, any guesses? Charlotte says possibly E. And what does Madison say? E? Unprofitable. Yeah, you are correct. Unprofitable is the opposite of remunerative. 4, virile. What up there works as the opposite of virile? Remember, we said it was strong. So the opposite would be B. Yes, weak. So then we have stern. If someone is stern, the opposite would be that they are lenient. Yes, A. And then republic, what do we have left? We have D, a monarchy. Okay. So a republic is typically where people are elected, like we have. Elected officials that run the country. A monarchy is where you have like a king or a queen or an emperor that inherits the title. Okay. All right, let's look at the synonyms. So remember, we're looking for words that mean the same. So preeminently, what would be the synonym for preeminently? Wait, are you saying A or D, or was that something? Guys, any idea the synonym for preeminently? No. Actually, guys, the synonym for preeminently would be notably, C. Okay. So 7 would be C. 8 is idleness. What would be the synonym, a synonym for idleness? E, yeah, laziness. Yep. Okay. Cumberer. Something that would be the same. Remember cumberer? We said it was like being cumbersome, bothersome, causing a problem. So A, yes. Obstructor. Then number 10, lavish. To lavish someone with things would be, we could use the word shower them, yes, with, you know, not like taking a shower, but showering them with gifts, lavishing them with gifts. And then 11, counsel, would be D, advice, yes. Okay. All right, so we have all of those. Okay, guys, we need to be working on your pre-writing for your memoir. I'm going to open the pre-writing up. Okay. All right, so guys, just to remind, I don't know, I wanted to find out how far you've gotten in the pre-writing, how that's coming. So you start with your purpose, and then the what, who, where, when, and why, and then the how you're gonna, your attention getter, the lead, how are you gonna start it? Okay. So how many of you have this part of it done? Do any of you? Charlotte says you're starting on your body paragraph. Okay, which is down here. All right, your story map part. Okay, good. Madison and Zane, where are you in this? And you can tell me if you don't have any of it done. I would like to know that, what we've got, if we've got anything done or if we're. Okay. You're on your body part too. Okay, Zane. All right. So Madison, thanks for being honest with me. I just needed to know where we are on it. So I am going to, I will probably give you time tomorrow to work on this too, because it will really help you write the memoir itself if you do all of this in detail first. Okay. That's what we want to do. We want to make it as easy to write as possible. And if you plan a lot of it out ahead of time, that will help you write it. Okay. So 2 of you have this part done. Madison still needs to get started on hers, but so you're working on the body paragraphs. That's good. All right. Madison, have you figured out, and then we'll work on the endings. So Zane and Charlotte, work on your body paragraphs. If that's all you get done today, or you only get part of that done today, that's fine. I'm going to give you time to work on it tomorrow too. Okay. And we'll talk about the ending tomorrow, so you can work on that for Monday as well. But I want to make sure you guys get as much filled out in this part, so then it makes the writing of your memoir not as difficult. Okay. Madison, do you know what you want to write about? I'm sorry, things have been stressful. Okay. Did you do yesterday's bell ringer? Because that might help you. Okay, it had possible topic choices. I ask you to pick one of those things. It's like a prompt to think about. And any of those 5 would work as an idea to start your memoir, okay, to fill this in. Okay, we'll take a look at what you did there and maybe think about those things. It is 20 after. I am going to let you guys go. Charlotte and Zane, you are free to please keep working. And like I said, I will give you time tomorrow. We'll go over the conclusion part, the ending part tomorrow. But if you don't get all the way through the body part today, that's still okay. You'll have time to work on that tomorrow. Okay. Madison, if you could take a look at those 5 prompts from yesterday's bell ringer, just reopen that and see if any of those strike you as a way to, or as something that you could write about. Okay. Okay. Guys, we are finished for today. I'm going to stop the recording. Make sure you submit your SAT exercise.